All right, so you've probably noticed that within your agency, your cost per lead has gone up. And if you've already got a couple of clients, the cost per lead of your clients has also increased, which isn't a good thing because they think you're doing a bad job, they churn, and you're just in this kind of race of trying to acquire a new customer and then obviously losing the same amount of customers or clients at the exact same time. This actually happened to one of my clients. He runs the second biggest dental agency in Canada, and for a very short period of like a month, he was losing almost the same amount of clients as he was gaining. So he was still in an upwards growth. But I know for a lot of you guys are losing clients left, right, and center. And you also can't afford to keep paying for leads because cost per lead is going up for you. And again, obviously, your client. So I'm going to tell you and show you exactly why that's happening, what's happened, and the things to do to combat this. Okay, so your ad costs are basically rising because you're using outdated ad strategies that don't work post August 2025. And I'm not BSing you here. Meta Andromeda is a real thing. I want to make myself a little bit bigger. Meta Andromeda, long story short, it rolled out to all ad accounts in July 2025. August 2025 is where you probably felt the hit if you're a smaller advertiser spending less than $1,000 per day on ads. But it was introduced to everyone December 2024. And if you just type in Meta Andromeda onto Google, you'll be able to read the full article. I'll just type it up here for you. You'll be able to read the full article from Engineering at Meta. You want to be checking out Engineering at Meta, and I'll show you this as well, Meta Newsroom, for the latest updates in advertising and things like that. It'll help you be proactive in your responses to, obviously, changing advertising policies and advertising platform updates, just so you don't get left behind. But yeah, go ahead and read up about this. But long story short, Meta Andromeda, it fully rolled out August 2025, and it is an absolute beast. Let me tell you this. This is an AI-powered retrieval engine that can process 10,000 times more ad creatives than the old ad system that they used to run. If you really care about this, it uses deep neural networks co-designed with NVIDIA, and NVIDIA, by the way, massive tech giant company that makes GPUs, computer parts for like super high-powered computers, so that it can understand content on a level that we've never seen before. So a little bit of foreshadowing here. If you are, making video ads and you're swapping out the hooks for the main bodies, that doesn't really work anymore. And it knows if your messaging is lazy or not that good. Okay, so what this means for you is that because there's way more ads being uploaded onto the ad platform because of things like a generative AI. So you might have seen Google VO3, those gorilla videos, Sora 2 of like Jake Paul, advertisers are using these AIs to make new ads super quick, right? And those are just some basic tools. There are way more advanced tools out there that we can go into later on. I've got all of my clients have the advanced tools that they're actively currently using. But long story short, because there's like literally 10,000 times, that's a real statistic, 10,000 times more ads being uploaded to the ad platform, the number of prospects has still remained the same. But there's way more ads competing to go to that same prospect. Okay, now couple that with Meta being an auction platform, i.e., it's basically a competition. There's more ads to compete against, meaning that your ads have to really stand out, right? And what Meta Andromeda has done is it's instead of you having to fight to make the best, highest quality, high production ads, Meta Andromeda reads your ad and it will be able to know exactly who to give the ad to. Okay, so if you give it generic, repetitive, low effort ads, it'll find someone who isn't. It'll find someone who. What am I saying? Oh yeah, it'll find someone who isn't actually a good fit for you. Okay, and it will reward you with it'll reward you with more expensive traffic. Okay, however, if you give Meta highly specific meta ads that aren't repetitive, meaning they're creatively diverse, and I'll go into my framework on creative diversity in a second, and they're not generic, they're actually unique, it will give the ad to the exact right person and it will reward you. Okay, so messaging is key here. Okay, and if your messaging is off, it will mean you get if your messaging is off, it will give you high cost per lead because it won't know who to give your messaging, your ads to. Or if your messaging is good, you can get cheaper qualified leads, which is really, really, really good. And that's what we're after. Okay. So in this video, I'm going to give you 3 fixes to navigate Andromeda and obviously fix your rising ad costs. Okay. And these are things tested and proven across myself and all of my clients. We've spent probably hundreds of thousands of dollars in ads so far. So that being said, the first thing you need to know is getting your campaign structure right. So if your ads manager looks like this, no good. Okay, you may have loads of different campaigns and you might have loads of different ad sets. That is not the right campaign structure to have, and I'll explain why. And that's because the ad set level is where the targeting happens. Okay, so if you know, if typically you're going after just one specific avatar, right? And if you're going after one avatar, you don't need multiple ad sets, because what will happen is if you're just going after one specific type of business or one specific type of person for the business you're running ads for, when you have multiple ad sets, they're going to start competing against each other for the same audience. Does that make sense? So that if there's even more people competing and you're competing against each other for the same audience, your cost per lead is going to go up, right? And if you want to know when to start going after different avatars, if you're making less than $3 million a year, you just go for the same avatar. Make things really simple. Okay. I currently work with the second biggest dental marketing agency in Canada, and they were kind of doing the same structure for their own business, and they were wondering why cost per lead was going high, right? And their cost per lead was dropping for themselves and their clients, and it's because their campaign structure was just wrong. And I had to train, obviously, the founder, and I had to train the 22 employees that he had on the new campaign structure that he's seen to work way more profitably. Okay, now this is the campaign structure you want to have is this here. Okay, you want to have you want one campaign, one ad set with up to 50 ads in that ad set. Okay, this has been tried and tested across millions of dollars worth of ad spend in different campaigns, in literally any industry you can think of, and 150 is like the decent structure you want to have. So one campaign, you want to have it with campaign budget optimization enabled, and then you want to have one ad set with broad targeting. And here's the thing, you don't want to go overboard with the targeting. Okay, Meta has 52,000 data points per user. Now, if I asked you, hey, list 100 things about yourself, you'd struggle, right? Imagine listing 52,000 things about yourself. Meta knows 52,000 points of data per individual user that uses its platform, and it's got way over 8 billion people. It's crazy, okay? So trust Meta with the targeting, okay? You want to use broad targeting with like zero interest, right? Max 2 interest based targeting. With my current campaign that's going out right now, I have nothing in the targeting. No, I'm not overthinking the targeting at all. What you want to do is make sure you're creative. Your ad creative does the targeting, and that your messaging does the targeting. Because remember, Andromeda can literally watch your ad and know who to send the ad to. Okay, now I might do another video on messaging. Obviously, messaging involves things like the demographics, the psychographics, the current conditions, the ideal conditions, the buying conditions, the awareness levels, and whether the prospect is in market or not in market. Okay, there's like 7 different things that you need to account for, and it deserves its own video. But you need to make sure your messaging is super on point so Meta can give your ad to the right person. Now, the actual ads itself, you want to have 10 to 50 ads, 10 as the absolute bare bones minimum, targeting different pain point reasons within a single demographic. So for a single avatar, okay? The best practice for people that want to sell high ticket, so you, an agency owner who wants to sell a month-to-month kind of subscription or a service fee that is high ticket, a few $1,000s at least, you want at least 25 to 30 unique ads in a single ad set. So the algorithm, Meta ad platform, has enough data points and creative variations to find the perfect person for each ad. And this is kind of so you can create like a portfolio of messages that Andromeda can deliver the right type of ad to the right type of prospect with high level of precision because obviously it has 52,000 data points, right? And as you begin scaling this, by the way, this is a completely different side point. When you start spending $1,000 to $3,000 per day, that's when you begin scratching the surface of going mass market. At that level, you'll need even more ads. So if you think this is a lot of ads, it isn't, especially when you start spending way more than $3,000-4,000 per day. Like I'm talking $40,000-50,000 per day on ad spend. Some people even spend $200,000 per day. Like they go crazy. Okay, so fix number two is once you have your ad campaign structure aligned, the next thing you want to do is on the actual ads, you need to have true creative diversification. Okay, remember how I said you need at least 50 ads? Okay, if you have 50 ads saying the exact same thing, it's going to cost you a whole bunch of money. Because Andromeda is powered by NVIDIA's hardware, they can, like I said before, effectively watch your ads, and it will understand the context, the sentiment, the messaging, and it will know if you've slapped 10 different hooks on the same main body. Okay, that is not a good thing, and you're gonna notice that your cost per lead is gonna increase significantly, which is not good. Okay, real creative diversification isn't about having different people or different backgrounds saying the same thing. It's about having completely different reasons for the same person to buy. Does that make sense? And I'll show you my framework in just a second, by the way. Okay, think of it this way: you can't just sell lead generation. Okay, people buy lead generations for dozens of different reasons. Okay, just to give you a few examples, someone who buys lead generation wants to scale past $1 million per month. Another person who wants to sell lead generation, they just want to sign their first 10 clients. A third person who buys lead generation as your agency service, they just want to stop grinding LinkedIn organic content and stop doing it themselves, whether they buy paid ads or whether they buy your LinkedIn content service. Okay, the primary objective for all of those people is to obviously make more money, but the actual avatars, the type of people all three of them are different people. So you need to get your messaging aligned with one of those specific people, and then for that specific person, list out a whole bunch of reasons as to why they would buy and make ads based on those reasons. Okay? Your hook, your body, and your call to action must be aligned around one single specific motivation. You can't just mix and match, okay? So in terms of the actual framework, I have this 3-step thing that I give to all of my clients and I tell my clients to do. Is step number 1, list out the buying reason. So brainstorm every possible reason, angle, pain point, and desired outcome that would make someone buy your offer, and write down at least 15 to 20 unique reasons. For each unique reason, you want to create a completely unique ad, okay? The hook introduces the angle, the main body expands on it, and the call to action reinforces it, and it encourages them to take action. There is no mixing and matching of hooks with call to actions with main bodies. No mixing and matching whatsoever. You need to make ad variations on winning pain points, right? And then when you begin optimizing the campaigns, you can obviously start introducing different types of ads and things like that. So to give you an example, if you have 15 to 20 unique reasons as to why someone would buy your service, and these are like pain point reasons, right? You can make 15 to 20 ads, rip them straight away, make static ads. Now, what you'll notice is that a few of those ads will start being spent on more than other ads. That means the ones that are getting the spend typically tend to be more compelling reasons as to why someone would buy. So what do you want to do? You want to make more variations of that ad. So if you started off with a simple static ad, you can then start making video ads and carousels and more static ads. Okay, so very, very quickly, if you have 20 reasons why someone would buy, and you have 3 different ads for each reason, you now immediately have 60 ads. Okay, and obviously in an ad set you can have maximum 50, but you get my point here, right? Right, it's super, super simple to create. Like conceptually, it's super simple to create a lot of ads. It doesn't require as much brain power to like come up with these crazy reasons, especially with all these AIs out there. It just takes a little bit of work and things to do, but there are super, super simple ways you can go about making ads, which maybe I'll go into in another video. Now, after you have the list of buying reasons and like the creatives you want to make, Now you have two paths to go down. You can either make 50 plus creatives per week if you want to do the old lazy way of making ads where you swap the hooks, or you can make 10 to 30 truly unique, fully aligned ads per month. And for high ticket, making 10 to 30 ads per month is super sustainable, like super doable to do. You can literally make that within a week. Okay. So I recommend you make 25 to 30 ads for you agency owners watching, right? Make 25 to 30 ads per month for your high ticket offer that you're wanting to sell. Okay. So step by step, list the buying reasons, 15 to 20 unique reasons. Have creatives for each one of those reasons. So you have a whole bunch of ad ideas, super simple to do. And then just start making 25 to 30 of them every single week and start uploading them and start running them as paid ads. Okay. If you give the ad platform reasons as to why people should buy your offer, it will be able to match the right reason to the right type of client. Okay. Which is super, super good. That's definitely what you want. Okay. Now, fix number 3. Maybe your ad costs are rising because you're not optimizing your funnel and it's not an ad problem. Okay. You might not have an ad problem. A lot of the times, the ads are doing their jobs. They're getting the clicks, they're getting the leads, but your funnel is broken somewhere else. Okay. And you cannot fix what you don't track. And if you don't track daily, you don't actually care. Okay. So, what you want to do is track every metric every single day. So, the type of things you want to be tracking is your ad spend, your CPM, your click-through rate, your cost per click, your VSL conversion rate, your cost per book call, show-up rates, close rates, every single thing. And if I go back up here, this is a real yearly dashboard that me and my clients have. And essentially, it will track every single part of a VSL funnel. And we have ones for instant forms, we have ones for DM ads, VSL ads, like all sorts of ads. We have different ad strategies, have different dashboards, and this is a yearly one. And we also have like daily breakdowns, right? We're all included in this thing that's super simple to punch in the numbers on too. Okay, this will tell you where the problem is in your funnel. Okay, and you want to make sure, like, if you don't ever work with me, fine. Just make sure that you make one for yourself, so you know where the actual problem lies in your client acquisition process for you and your clients. Because when you do this, the bottleneck becomes painfully obvious. You'll look at the data and realize, oh, my ads are performing well. They're getting a 3% click-through rate and a $2 cost per click, but my VSL is only converting at 1%, which is terrible, by the way. Okay, the problem isn't the ads, it's the VSL. Okay, typically I want VSLs to be converting at 15%, right? So if you take your crappy VSL from 1% and you get it to average of 15%, you would have 15x'd the people booking in calls with you and dropped your cost per lead by 15x. Does that make sense? Okay. Or on the other hand, you might see that your cost per booked call is $150, but your setters are only getting 50% of the people to actually show up. So you don't have an ad problem. You might have a setter problem that is obviously a problem with your entire client acquisition process. Does that make sense? Maybe your speed to lead is way too slow, but you're blaming the ads because it's the easiest thing to blame. Okay. Now, if you stop blaming your cost per leads and stop blaming metas like advertising algorithm and platform and things like that, I've just given you all the fixes now, and start diagnosing your entire system, the data would be the best teacher. Okay. And the ads are just the entry point. Okay. If the rest of the journey is broken, you're going to be pouring water into a leaky bucket. And one of the analogies I like to give is, imagine ads are the bridge, right? But the ads are only this little part here. Okay. If every single part after the bridge is broken, right, people are naturally going to fall through, and by extension, your cost per lead is going to increase. Okay, so if you need help with anything, if you're under $10,000 per month, I have a basic school community with some basic video modules with weekly Q&As with me to make sure you and your first couple of clients get amazing results, so you can, get crazy testimonies and leverage them into scaling past 10K per month. Okay, if you're under 10K per month right now, school community, go ahead and join that. It is insane. I've got a guy in there who just for his client closed a 17.5K USD deal. Absolutely insane. If you're between 10K to 100K per month, I have a done with you, done for you hybrid offer where I'll basically guarantee you 10 high ticket clients in 90 days with 100% money back guarantee. This is super cool if you want to get to the 50, 60, 100k per month mark. And if you're over 100k per month, we can, sit down and customize a custom done for you offer to add a minimum of $100,000 per month to your top line revenue within 3 months. So if any of these offers interest you, click the links down below in the description. If not, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.